everybody. Hope everything's going well for you. Just doing some raking today. Boy, is there a nice crop of hay this year. Managed to get this down a few days ago, so we're just starting to rake it up here so that we can get it baled. Apparently they're predicting rain here coming up. So, you know what? I haven't done a YouTube video for quite a little while, so I thought, hey, I guess it's time I should really get to doing one of these. So yeah, just raking up hay here. 12-wheel hay rake, that's the one we got last year. Same thing with the 1175 here, and it's a different tractor, but hey, I really like this old tractor and it's fun to drive, so the only thing I wish is that the air conditioning was working, but nevertheless, no big issue, especially when you're raking here. You're only in it for a few minutes anyway, so anyway, I will finish raking up this field here and go from there. So we finished that up there, just driving the rake back over. Probably gonna rake some clover later on, so we'll try to see if we can get you the video of that. Maybe put a drone shot if I get some chance. But yeah, in the meantime, just doing the drive around, so I thought I'd show you over the crops on my home place. Anyways, this is my canola. It's average. I've got better canola than this for sure. Not sure what exactly happened here. This is the first canola field I seeded. The later stuff definitely looks a little better, but still be a pretty good crop though, I think. Just not maybe going to be exceptional like some of the other ones that I've seen out there. But you know what? I'll take it. But on the other side of the road, this is my wheat. This stuff is crazy good this year. Heads are nice and uniform. Everything's standing up real nice. Just a beautiful, beautiful crop of wheat. And I'm really, really excited about it. So can't wait till we actually get to combining or until we get to working with it a little bit. It's just looking really good right now. So I've decided probably not to spray them for fungicide right now. We've had some nice hot weather in the last little bit. Been humid, so maybe I'm making a mistake. Probably I'm making a mistake, but you know what? We're gonna leave. Crops are just so expensive this year to grow anything, and it needs to slow down. The prices have come down quite a little bit lately, and yeah, so we're gonna try to just leave it. But it does look pretty good. I've taken a walk through it a few times. There's very little disease pressure on it, so go from there. Anyway, we're just heading down the road, and we're gonna show you my other canola crop as I go around. And we'll probably show you a little bit of the wheat crop as well, and go from there. So, talk to you in a minute. So again, this is the other side of the wheat field. This is on the other side of the creek from my home place. But it still looks pretty good. And there's one of my better canola crops, actually. This one here, really nice and clean. It's got a little bit of missing on the hills, but I mean, they're clay hills. They don't grow very good to begin with most years. But this canola here, I'm really quite exceptionally happy with at the moment. Looks pretty good. Hopefully it just keeps on growing. And flowers for as long as it possibly can. Just heading over to flip some clover. Wondering how we're going to flip clover with a V-rake, because let's face it, with a V-rake, most of them don't only go down on one side, or have to go down on both sides. Pretty narrow to flip. We got the old Massey side delivery rake going, so we hooked that onto my old International. There she is right there. We're running with that today. So we'll give it a try here, see how it works for flipping some clover. we're on to cutting hay for the day. Yeah, if you're wondering why I'm cutting with the 26-foot swather here, it's because this is pitiful, this stuff here. It's poor hay. It's been poor for about 30 years. It needs to be broken up. And so instead of wasting a whole pile of time with the hay bine and ripping back and forth the 18 feet, I'm going with 26. I'm throwing two together. We get 52. We'll get a couple bales out of this. We'll take our bales off, and then I'm going to spray it later on. But I want to cut it all, make sure it's all even, and make sure anything that can grow can grow. That way there, when the chemical gets sprayed on, it will kill it all perfectly and evenly before I break it up later. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this right now. It seems like a waste of time, but like I say, they're predicting rain here not next week, actually, tomorrow. Heavy amounts of rain, actually, about an inch again, which is really good and really bad in another way because I got hay down. But not really worried about the swaths as much here, so I figure I'll swat this in case it doesn't rain. It'll be fine. If it does rain, well, no harm, no foul, really. It's not the greatest of hay to begin with. So anyways, yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing here for the next little while, because you got to go real slow with a 26-foot header to actually get anything out of this. But yeah, it's cutting, I guess. We'll get her down and then move on from there. Got bigger and better hay than this. I wouldn't worry about this stuff. Like I say, if all our hay looked like this, I'd be very, very worried. But I'm not worried. This is really the real exception compared to the norm this year, which is lots of hay. Dad just took off with the baler from here. Made a couple the other day. And now he's taken off back to Theodore. This actually is quite a ways away from our usual farm. This is quite a little bit north of where we usually farm. But yeah, Dad had this quarter for a long time and doesn't really ever do anything with it. But I said to Dad, it's time to reseed it. So we're going to reseed it. Try it out, see how it goes. Go from there. Anyway, we shall talk to you in a bit.
One eternity later.
Finally finished whatever this is, I guess. Like I said, I was mostly cutting it off just to clean off the field. And that way there, when we decide to go spraying it later on here, when we start doing some desiccating or pre-harvest, I'm going to come in here and spray this whole field down. And make myself a nice little field out of this yet. We're going to seed it next year, see how it grows. And then probably put hay back into it. You know, it should be good for another 5 years, 10 years, maybe. Not even. Anyway, just driving back to the yard now. And yeah, it's on from there. You know what? I just wish I had bales like this on that field. You know, where they're pretty much just touching each other, or every 100 feet you drop a bale. Yeah, that would be nice. That's a whole lot of bales. So if there's one thing neighbors do, they do it right in bales, that's for sure. So anyway, on my way back to the main yard here, I'm going to go and finally park the air drill. We went and we moved it out of the way here so that we can cut hay underneath it. And yeah, now we're going to go and park it here. So we'll talk to you in a few moments. Well, there, that's done. Got it parked where I want it. I'll unhook it here in another day because I just want to make sure. I might move that ahead a little bit more yet. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I have my cousin coming to see me this week, or actually tonight. So that's what I'm up to for the rest of the day, probably. At least we got some hay cut, and Dad's cutting down south right now with the hay bine. Got a problem. That looks like wild oats right there. That can't be good. Not sure why in the world it's got wild oats. I guess you can see we do have a little bit of a resistance problem because this first round here, first 90 feet were sprayed with Everest. Group 2. That's a group 1. That was sprayed with Axial. Well, that answered the question. Anyway, we will talk to you later on. So, you remember when I said we were growing some clover this year? Well, there she is. Got to be starting to be cut down. This is getting a little tall, but you know what? It's all right. Come down and cut it right away. We want to get the outside 4 rounds done so we don't have to keep lifting and lowering the hay bine, more so the rake. So we'll get this cut here right away though. try it out and see how it goes. And, there. The poor spot right here was a little bit of clover. Not as much, it's sand right here, but hey, better than nothing. See, the bales look nice and hard, so that's all you can really ask for. Nice big heavy bales. Looks like we got a little bit out of it anyways. Again, I think I seeded this a little light when I seeded it, so I'm pretty happy that it came out the way it did. Still some places higher than the side-by-side, so it shall be fun to knock down here in a little bit. Probably this next week here we'll start cutting it down. I'll make some video of that too. So. So here's some of Dad's hulless barley. I've got some too. It's pretty well at the same stage. Not too bad of a head. This is kind of a wet spot too. So the wet spots really didn't do so well this season. Not bad. It's nice and clean at least. A little bit of wheat in there, oddly enough. But seeing as it goes to the hog barn for feed wheat anyways, essentially, not a big issue. Well, a little bit later on, just checking the pastures, checking the cows. Cows are doing good. I mean, you got that much pasture in here and it's right green and it's looking like more rain coming. This means more feed for these guys. Hate to say it, I might have to come in here with the hay vine and cut a little bit of it just because it's going to get old on them. They love old hay, so no, they don't. So anyways, we'll probably come in here later on and just cut a little bit of this and make it look pretty. This is my one other canola field. See, it doesn't look the best. Mainly it just got a lot of moisture in it early. Some of this is really nice, some of it is But you know what? That's the way the crops are this year, it seems like. Still lots of heads, still lots of flowers and everything, which is all cool. So hopefully it yields up okay. Anyway, I'm going to shut the gate here and we'll talk to you in a little bit.